welcome to my channel. I am OHLEEN. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So yes, I want to talk to you about styling socks. Yes, I know, but it's not as simple as just plonking them on. I do have some tips and tricks because the weather is transitioning. I'm sure there are some things in your wardrobe that you want to carry through all the way into autumn, winter, and there are things you can do. There are some cool things you can do, so I want to show you so you can have a look and know what are your options and try it out if you're confident enough. Now, speaking of confidence, to be honest, this whole socks on shoes, socks with heels, socks over heels, cutting the sock and doing whatever you do with it, it's all in the confidence you carry it with. So be confident when you wear it. Practice a couple of times, look for images to see how others have done it. This video is a great source as well because I'm going to be showing you what I did with a few of my summer shoes and what I did with them in terms of socks. So to start with, I would say start thin. The obvious is tights, right? And it's a good place to start, but you can also do patterned or printed tights, polka dots, just any print, zigzag, a line at the back. You can start with that, or you can use the socks, the tights that are just over your ankle and they may have some frill, some lace to them, and so that's more feminine and that's more light. You can start off light. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And that way you're not going all the way taking socks, which are considered casual and supposed to be something, you know, that's not really seen, and you're putting it right on top and it's visible. So start light to introduce yourself if you're not so confident to go all out, basically. Now with sandals, so I will show you a shoe that I've got this shoe here, which is a great color for this sort of thing. It's gold, it's shiny, and when you put socks over these, when you wear these with socks, any kind of sock, whatever sock you decide, tights, full-on socks, casual socks are always casual, but anyway, you know what I mean. They look great because the contrast, they're shiny, they're actually really formal, they're metallic, so the contrast works really, really well. However, they're not great because they slip out. You have to have a sandal heel that's going to give you support at the back, because the socks make it all more slippery and it's not going to stay. Every step you take, the shoe will be flying off, literally. So I showed you that to say, one, you need a shoe that has grip at the back. If you're going to be wearing sandals or socks, keep that in mind. And two, the more contrast, actually, the better. And it sounds crazy, but it works. The more contrast, the better. The more formal the shoe, the better. It actually works really, really well. You can do it with other casual shoes, you can. But for example, I did it with my string tie lace sandal heels, and I created a sock boot in the sense that I wore the tights that stopped at the top of my calf, and I wore those, and then I put socks on top covering the lace strings or the lace straps going around my leg, and that created a sock boot, and that is really comfortable. You can cut it how long, how short you want. So yes, you are going to have to cut some of your socks, so don't cut the ones that are precious. Steal your boyfriend's, I don't know. Get some cheap ones, but basically cut them, and you can cut just the tip of the sock, or you can cut the entire foot. The tip will mean that the sock still hooks on your heel. If you don't want it to be all the way long, you can ruffle it up and fold it within itself and create a bit of texture, and that's also great. Texture is great. We're going to get onto that in a minute. Yeah, so you can create your own sock boot basically by using your sandals, by using anything that goes up, which is typically the strappy heels, the heels that you lace up your calf, basically your calf. Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Calf. You know what I mean. I mentioned texture. I mentioned contrast. I said the more contrast, the better. Contrast can come in texture, it can come in color, and it can come in the type of shoe. So with the next shoe, which is blue, bright blue, the sock is actually a Chanel sock. So it's a little bit fluffy, and then on top of that, it's got lines running up it. So texture and pattern is involved here. and it works so well. It works really well. I think it's working really well because of the lines, to be honest, and the color of the shoe. So once again, the more contrast the better, because you need to wear this with confidence, and you need to show that you did it you did it intentionally, not by accident. You're just an auntie that doesn't know what they're doing. No, you actually know what you're doing, and you're wearing it with all the confidence in the world, and you're doing it. With the blue shoes, I stuck to the dark socks. The darker the sock, the more the contrast. The shoe was really bright, the socks were really dark, but there was pattern and there was texture, so it works really well. And so that will be from me to you, shoe number 2. Shoe number 3 is a sandal heel, a high heel actually. I wore the same socks but in a different color, which is a lighter color. So another tip I would say is, if you are wanting to tread on the side of caution, which is you want it to all look really creme and proper and clean, you can try to stick to the colors being very similar: creams, whites, beige. So this shoe was cream, and I stuck on it the socks that were white-ish, cream-ish, so that it's all a bit looking, again, very intentional. And then with it's the same socks from previous. They also have the lines, so then that creates texture and that creates pattern for you, and it looks really cute. Honestly, it looks so cute. But I will keep saying this, it is all about the confidence you wear it with, honestly. And when people ask you and say, what is that? It is what it is, you know? It is what you're seeing is, and it's going to look great. So, you know, when I mentioned about sticking to tights, you can just keep it purely simple and just do it with tights. Make it interesting by adding a bit of pattern to your tights, by adding a bit of print to your tights. You can even wear them plain, but a very bright color, a very contrasting color with the tights. Again, the bolder, the more contrast, the better. It's gonna look a lot more styled. It's gonna look a lot more, styled. Another tip is layering. You can layer, so the tights will be the base, and then you can wear a full sock that will cover your toes all the way up, or you can cut the sock so that your toes go through and then it's hooking on to just your heel, or it's just like I did with the boots, just peeping through. Out of all the shoes I tried, my favorite is the boots. I love my boots. I love those Timberland boots. They're like classics, perfect, everything perfect. Also, by the way, bonus tip, if you want to layer, you can do the reverse. So wear the sock and then the tights. So wear the socks first, and then put something so thin like this over the sock. It can be as mild as you like, but this is going to create a very like a shimmery effect, a very like a hazy effect to the whatever is underneath, whatever the color. It's going to look really good. I'll try and do a little reels on my Instagram showing you more with these styles, so make sure you are following me there so you don't miss anything that I post, my styles, my ideas, my outfits, what I'm doing, and my stories, going out, vlogs, That is all I had for you. I hope it was helpful. I hope it gave you confidence to try some of these tips. I'm curious to know why you were looking for this. Is it because you do this, or is it because you want to try and you just stumbled across this video, or is it because you're a subscriber and you're just watching for loyalty's sakes? Thank you. Whatever it is, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching and staying all the way to the end. I will see you next week, Sunday 6 p.m. UK time, which is when I post. And until then, stay safe and bye-bye.